Hello, everyone. This is Ryan from rockthedivine.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to my latest video. It has been a hot minute, hasn't it? It's been months since I've done a video. And I thought about doing a video about all the shit that's gone on and my energy and why I wasn't doing videos. And maybe I'll touch on it a little bit. But generally, shit was hitting the fan in a nutshell. And I think it has been for all of us. We've been dealing with quarantine and the coronavirus and politics suck and all this crap. And we're just trying to navigate the best we can. And that's basically what's been going on with me. Also, as I've told many of you before, my husband has a seasonal business, and being short staffed, I'm helping him more than I thought I would be. And we have been completely overwhelmed. We're very blessed to be busy and to have a lot of sales, which is great. But it's also overwhelming and tiring and pisses me off sometimes. And I just cannot get to clients. And it just is what it is. And every time I make plans, like, oh, I think in July I'll be able to get to people. I think in August I'll be able to get to people. I can hear the universe just laughing at the plans I make. Like, sure, we'll see what happens, okay? But it's been a lesson for me in trusting and in honoring my energy and just getting to what I can get to. A lot of you have been so kind, reaching out and where are your videos, and which says to me you like them, so I totally appreciate it. When are you taking people on, which means you want me to help you, which I really appreciate, but I just can't fucking get to it. There's just no getting around it. I cannot get to it, and today is my day off, and I did not plan on making a video. I went actually outside, laid in the sun to get some natural vitamin D, and it started to get cloudy, and I thought, screw it. I'm going to make a video. Might not be that great of a one, but I'm going to do it. So anyway, I am going to get to some of your questions. Thank you very much for sending them in. Okay, I'm going to shorten some of these and give you the gist of the question. So this person was basically saying about a year ago, their clairvoyance opened up and they were seeing spirits everywhere. And they noticed it was because they were ungrounded, and when they would ground themselves, that would stop happening. They're wondering if that's how it works for people who see spirits. If they rise their energy up when they're not grounded, is that how that works, if I'm saying it right? So, yes, sort of. So when I see spirits, I'm not ungrounding my energy to do so. The reason I'm hesitating on saying yes or no is because to some extent, when you are communicating with spirit, they're coming down to meet you and you're coming up to meet them, okay? But you're not ungrounding yourself to do it. You do naturally get a little ungrounded. Like if I've been doing a reading for someone or communicating a lot with my guides, I have to make sure to reground myself because yes, you will slowly start to travel up your spirit channel. You have a spirit channel that's connected to your crown chakra, and you will just naturally kind of start to do this. That's why it's good to not, especially early on before you know your limits, to not do many readings or do them for very long periods of time, because you just kind of keep going up your spirit channel and it can really feel like you've drunk and out of it, or very drained. Or you want to be grounded to communicate with spirit for safety purposes, because if you're not grounded, icky crawlies can get in your energy. And also being centered and grounded is how you receive deep and detailed information. So this is the example I'll use. If you were not grounded and you connect to spirit, which you can still do, you either won't have a very good connection, or the connection or the information you get will sound flowery and vague. So it's not that it's wrong, but it's not detailed guidance. So we always want to make sure we're very grounded. We're humans. Our energy needs to be grounded to receive that detailed information. So as you can see, there's sort of many parts to it. Do you unground to see spirits? No, don't do that. You want to be grounded. Do you get a little ungrounded when communicating with spirit? Yes, that's true. What I want to say also is that when your clairvoyance first cracks open, it's usually things are very obvious visually. Okay, they're really trying to get your attention and energy's really moving. As you keep going, it tends to calm down. So the light show, as I call it, isn't as obvious. And you want to make sure that even though you can see energy, you can see static and lights with your actual eyes, how you really utilize your clairvoyance is with your mind's eye. So internally, that's how you see spirits detailed. So now I know that this sweet man asked this question, and Asher, am I saying your name right? But I can't find now where the question is, but I remember it. And I believe the gist of the question was, can you and other people clear the energy in the woods? Is it helpful to do so? Why do the woods or certain areas collect energies and what have you? So if you know that an area has a low vibration, let's say you're camping and you're very intuitive and you know that a certain area trauma happened or the energy in the area is not very good, which also ley lines can play a part into this. Just Google that. I'm not going to go into it. Yes, technically you and or your friends could pray for assistance to clear that area, bring light into that area to clear old traumas and static and what have you, to raise the vibration. Absolutely. And there are people who are meant to do that. And I can't think right now what they're called, but it's almost like their gift is reading the surrounding area and bringing to the earth what is needed to make that land feel better, I guess, or vibrate at a higher frequency. Why does it happen? And that could be a million things. Someone could have been murdered in the area. There could have been a war where you're standing a long time ago. It's just like anything. It's just like a house that has a lot of bad stuff happen in it. The land can also have imprints of things that have occurred that affect the vibration of that area. You can also have lots of woodland beings, is what we'll lump them together as, that can be lowering the vibration of the area they're in. I mean, so it's sort of a big subject really, and maybe one I'll do a whole video on sometime. But yes, the areas of certain places in nature can definitely be affected by many, many things. And can you lighten the load? You can certainly attempt to. I will say, sometimes it is not automatic. I have a home, but I also have a condo that I stay in the summer when I'm helping my husband. And there, without going into a whole thing, there's a vortex in the ground below. So you have this vortex that has it's not a good vortex. It's a icky one. And then you stick a psychic medium inside the vortex and it's just like, right? It's a mess basically. And I spend every day I'm there, I have to do some prayers and asking the archangels to clear the vortex and assist in removing all the spirits that get stuck, or else I can't sleep and it's just, I get harassed every time I'm there. I am able, with the divine's assistance, to really keep the cleansing going, so I am able to stay there and not be affected too bad. I will say though, it's strong enough that when I'm not there in the winter, the vortex just kicks back up and it gets so full of spirits again. My guides are telling me that eventually this will be cleared permanently, but it's going to take some time. So anyway, my rambling, basically what I'm saying is sometimes it can help prayers or angels or whatever, clearing a house or even the land. You can definitely do that and it will start working immediately depending on the level of what's going on, depends on how quickly that energy can be cleared. So if it's not working right away, don't think you've done anything wrong. It might just need some massive assistance. Okay. So this lovely girl asked, she's asking about practicing on giving readings. How should she go about doing it? Random people on Facebook, question mark. Seems like would be hard to read family and friends. You have to be careful practicing reading for people you know. One, you know a lot about them, and you want to make sure that you're not being influenced by what you already know. Two, you might piss them off. And, the truth can be a bitter pill. And when it's coming out of your sister, she's going to be like, screw you, go suck it. You know what I mean? So be careful. You don't want to cause family, friend problems. And I learned that the hard way too. The other thing is, if they don't agree with what you're saying, then when you're practicing, you're going to kind of get knocked down. So like if a friend's like, screw you, you're wrong, and I ain't talking to you this week, you're going to be like, oh, get a bad taste in your mouth. And that can really hinder you early on. I know a lot of people go to Facebook to do readings. And I think that's fine, but there's a big old but coming behind it, and why I sort of like go, oh, careful, okay? It is great to find people that you can practice on, but you better have up the mother of boundaries when you do, okay? You need to be very discerning, and you need to right away put up boundaries of what's okay and what you'll be able to do for the person. And the reason for that is you will immediately have people that want a lot from you and want to take advantage. When you're offering free readings, and when there's these group Facebook accounts where you can get free readings, you get vultures, you get energy vampires, you get people just going from person to person, give me more, give me this reading. Well, that's wrong. Well, you need to tell me more. If you're going to practice on people on Facebook or Instagram, what I did early on, because I knew mediums and they were nice enough to sort of warn me about this. What I would do is I would say, here's what I'm good at. That's a boundary. You're saying here's, we can talk about relationships, or I'm good at giving angel readings, or I'm good at telling you your aura color. Like you very much limit what you're offering. And you also say one question, okay, is the limit, or hold on one second, the sun's making me look like I'm lighting on fire. Okay. Or you can say, I will give you a one sentence answer back, and that's it. Like you just have to put extreme limits, and don't get sucked into someone saying, well, give me more, or I want more information, or what do you mean about that? Like they do these little tricks to try to get you to relinquish more and more information. You have to very much stand very strong in your boundaries, and basically limit who gets what, how much you're willing to give. You have to know when to stop talking to people. You have to know when people want more. You have to say, no, I'm sorry, that's all we can do. And even if they're upset, you keep on trucking through. Maybe I started my Instagram, I started very simply, and I would say, to the first 3 people that get a hold of me, I will tell you the archangel that's with you and what they're assisting you with at this time. That was how I started getting clients, because when I would say, this is the archangel with you, this is what they're helping you with, obviously for some people they're like, oh shit, that makes sense. But I kept very strict boundaries with it. I would also recommend that you get a PayPal and you start taking $5 for the reading. And I know some of you are going to be like, but I don't know if I'm good. I don't know if I'm ready. Well, it's $5. That person's probably, it's not going to be the end of the world to them if they don't get the best short little reading. And what you're doing is you're saying like, here's an even exchange of energy. So like the universe sees that, and then it becomes a a balanced exchange of energy. And that's very, very important. It's a lesson you have to learn. You can't wait till you become this established medium to go, okay, now I can charge. It's important to charge early on because it's a boundary. It's not really about the money. It's about having an energetic boundary, like your time is worth something, and that amount will change. But let's say at first it's $1, it's $5, it's something. It also keeps away the vultures looking for freebies. You will get a better person with better energy, is what I should say. Not better person, better energy. When they're willing to give you something for your time. So yeah, careful, have boundaries, have limitations, don't let anyone suck from you. Consider charging at first, even if it's a small amount, and you will avoid a lot of problems. For a lot of us intuitives, we are getting new channels and upgrades. And I don't mean YouTube channel, I mean the channels that come into our system. A lot of stuff is changing along with the world. A lot of stuff is changing for each of us, how we do things, our limits, upgrades, downloads, all kinds of stuff. And so not just even being busy, I also have that stuff going on. And, you know, as much as I'm like, no, I'm ready to do stuff, sometimes Spirit has other plans, and it's really a lesson in patience and trust to honor the divine timing of things instead of your timing. So I want you to keep that in mind with yourself too. Are you giving yourself time to rest and recover? Are you running to nowhere? Are you doing things out of fear that you'll lose clients or business? You know, a lot of this quarantine time was for us to come to our center and to become present and to give ourselves some self-care. I think I kind of failed at that quite a bit. I think that I got sucked into what was going on, and I wasn't worried about getting sick. I didn't think I'd get sick, but I was worried about my family and when I was going to see them. And I also realized how important socializing is, when really I'm not a big people person. That sounds terrible, but I'm not. Like I'm kind of a loner. Like I like downtime. I like alone time. I like just Ryan time, you know. That's why I don't tend to do group activities and what have you. But anyway, it's funny when the option's taken away from you, you realize how much you do need people and you do need to interact, even at whatever level that is. So I think it's now that I'm taking more time for myself. I don't get off many days, and when I do, I've been going swimming and laying in the sun, and I really had to stop being afraid I would lose all of you and that I wouldn't have clients. I thought, no, this is, Spirit needs me to come to my center, to become present, and that's what I'm going to do so I feel better. So my advice to you is make sure it's not too late. It's never too late. Do the same thing for yourself. Don't be running a million miles forward to nowhere, okay? Try to become present. Try to spend some time this summer doing things that are fun for you. I also want to say I'm not sure when I'll be taking on clients, and that's probably frustrating for some of you, and I get it, and it's fucking frustrating for me too. But Spirit has a plan. I'm trusting it. They're not giving me all the information on it, but I had kept telling people it was going to be this month and that month, and I'm just not going to make plans anymore. I'll know when it's time. I have already changed my website so I can get to more of you. If you are a new client, what I'm doing is that you can book the new client session, which is a little longer than established client session because we do more in that time together. And for people that have worked with me before that want to continue working, you will book a 3 sessions. Yeah. And that way it's not so hard for you to get back in with me. Okay? And it really weeds out to, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, it weeds out the people who want to do the work and the people who don't. And I think that the people who want to do the work should be rewarded and have more sessions with me. So anyway, I thank you all for being patient. It's good to be back on, and hopefully I'll be seeing more of you. Much love to you, babes.